Hi, my name's Smillie. I'm Managing Director of Diary Doll, which are pretty clever pants with a secret waterproof panel for life's little leaks. And I'm here today at the SIE to talk to the students about starting your own business and how hard it is, and tell our story because it's been quite a bumpy ride. Our biggest challenge in a product like ours is overcoming people's awkwardness about women's bodies and the issues that they have surrounding menstruation, like stress incontinence, all of these things. Which we're very British and we get kind of uptight about these things. That, together with publicity, has been really hard because newspapers don't want to talk about it and magazines don't either. My biggest piece of advice to anyone starting their own business is, first of all, to do your market research and make sure that anyone else wants your product, likes your business, has a need for your service or whatever it is you're going to do. And only when you've got the honest truth from total strangers, proceed. Because they may save you a fortune by telling you the truth and going, nobody will buy that, nobody will use that. So that's probably my biggest piece of advice. My second piece of advice is, if you really believe you're onto something and you really want to proceed with it, don't let people put you off too easily. If you honestly have done your market research and all the signs are saying yes, you need to come up with inventive ways of trying to get your message out there, and that doesn't cost you a lot of money. But there are ways to do it, and being in Scotland, you couldn't be better placed. Events like this that SIE put on are really important because young people are very entrepreneurial in the way that the previous generations weren't, because they are really adept with social media. They understand the digital era, and things, getting forward in their business is a lot easier than it used to be because they understand it, and they're open to change, and they're very kind of they're very entrepreneurial without realising, a lot of them. And I think a lot of young people get bad press because they have got quite a spark in them that perhaps wasn't there so often in other generations. But events like this have been brilliant because it's a networking opportunity. It means that people can get together and share ideas and thoughts and hopefully inspire. Networking in entrepreneurship is everything. I can't say that enough. You've got to put the time in, get out there, whether it's digitally or in person, even better in person actually. There's no substitute for picking up the phone. An email you can hide behind for so long, but people remember people who pick up the phone or turn up. And think a wee bit outside the box to get your message out there and make sure that you're not forgotten. To become an entrepreneur, I think the strongest thing you need to do is have an open mind. I think you have to listen to what other people are saying and listen carefully in terms of your market research and what they're saying about your product or your idea. And I think you have to have a grit and determination. My talk today was probably a bit different from some of the others, and I really hope that the boys in the room weren't too traumatised. I hope they've learned something. I hope the women have felt inspired to talk about a subject that nobody wants to talk about. And in fact, a couple of them came up at the end and one of them cried. She was really... I just wanted to give her a big hug because she said, even knowing about your product has changed my life. That's profound for us to think that would have that much effect, and how ridiculous it is that something like this hasn't existed before now.